so stupid. This is so stupid. Dog, these guys, I mean, these guys use their gym membership. That's all I'm going to say. I'm glad it's happened. I've been waiting around. It's been over 2 weeks since we saw him. B has returned. He's back on the AoE 4 grind. Thank goodness. It would have been a shame to lose such a fun player on the ladders. And we need more players up there, right? Speaking of players up there, one of the top 8 in the world right now, Wham1 has ran into him straight away. B, he's back on the grind, but he ain't going to start easy, that's for sure. Let's get into it, because it is going to be Delhi versus HRE on Mongolian Heights. Kind of curious to see what B's got in mind. I wonder if it's Rusty. He could have been playing on Smurfs and we maybe just didn't know. But in terms of his main account had been inactive for about, I believe it was 18 days at this point. It was a long time. And I was getting a little bit worried. I was concerned because B, we've watched a lot of him. You know, some people have controversial opinions, you know, on how they feel about him. But he's very entertaining to watch, regardless of how you feel about him. Like watching him, some of the remarkable builds he's come up with have just put smiles on people's faces, right? I feel like this is the guy leading the way with the ball rush strategies and then evolving a lot as well. Like, it feels like you're always in for an interesting game when you watch B. So glad to see that he's back on the leaderboards, and we need more people. I feel like the last few days, at least, it's been a little bit drained. There hasn't been that many people playing. Maybe people just taking breaks because obviously Golden League is now into the playoff stage. So, you know, it's not a grind because you've still got a chance to keep going to the tournament. It's kind of, I think, for a lot of players, a good time to maybe just kind of like chill, reflect, and de-stress. And it seems like B kind of felt that way as well and took that break. Wham, on the other hand, has been non-stop grind. If you haven't clocked it yet, North America is Wham. Oh my god, that sounds so egotistical saying that. But yes, this account does belong to Wham. In fairness, him and his bro really are representing America right now. I'm trying to think of anyone else in America that's really making it into the top 30. In North America, at least, there's not really. I mean, like, you talk about people like giving Zayt and Soldier, but they've been kind of falling a little bit out of favor in terms of the rankings. These are the two to watch, these Canadian bros, like Wham and Puppy Paw. So, going to be intrigued to see what you can do with the HRE here on this map. I feel like the HRE are feeling a lot stronger now on Mongolian Heights. Of course, you don't want to go directly onto the waterfront due to the fact that you are up against the Delhi. So you do have to worry about those fishing boats doing a little pew-pew on you. But nice wall up. I like that he's being calculated about this, not being too greedy. Takes the south side. Remember, once you actually reach into feudal, you absolutely stomp the Delhi in water because they can build these crappy little dhows while you build the bulky boy galleys that just completely shred them. And someone trying to point out that Hera is there to represent North America. He has to play the game for that to be true, folks. We talked AoE 4. What? All right, B ain't missing a trick here. Guy hasn't been playing for over 2 weeks. He comes in and he instantly opens up his own kebab shop. Holy crap, 16 sheep. Feels good, man. Donnas all week and all next month, too. And that means that Wham definitely needs to get himself in the water and stabilize there. So this could actually be really effective for B. Could be a double whammy. I'm going to stop now, if you will, because not only is he going to have backup resources if he falls off the water, but also if he strong points this and he does deny equity there, then there's not much fallback that you have as Wham on land. Like, you have to move out in the deer uncomfortably. You have to shift down to farms a little bit quicker. So it's really important that Wham reaches a good timing on the feudal and then looks to push the initial galley. The way that you could really screw him over if you're B is getting down outposts. That's something that is missing right now. He's busy pushing the fishing boats, but realistically, you want to have an outpost at this crossing. In fact, I'm not even sure if B realizes this yet because his scout was on the prowl to return the sheep. He only went one scout, which is a little bit sinful, to be totally honest with you. Most players have acknowledged that 2 scouts is worth doing, even when you're playing as a civ like the Delhi, but weirdly enough, B didn't do this. On a map where you can get additional value because of how easy it is to gather up those sheep in the center. Kind of a weird one. Then again, B hasn't played in 2 weeks. I'm trying to think, like, I feel like back then he was already doing double scout on a lot of civs as well, though, so kind of surprised that he made this choice. Especially when on the other side, is it? Yeah, it was 2 scouts. I was right. Yeah, Wham did go 2, as expected. I just think 2 scouts make sense no matter what civ you play as. Even as the Abbasids, like, you gather up a bunch of sheep, so you have reserved food, and then you use the other scout to see what your opponent's doing in case they're going early aggression of any kind. It's just too much value, information-wise, to give up. I like that bit. Just making sure there's no cross point. And that will stop his opponent from just rushing through the galley. So buying a lot of time means B is not going to have to rush to get the outposts up, which means that he can actually spend more resources into additional fishing boats in the meantime. Tech up-wise, both of them very delayed. Wham was carrying a little bit too much food there. Did over-calibrate. Fixes it and quickly moves in the Archon Chapel. And this could actually end up being a double TC play if he feels a little bit threatened on the waterfront. More likely this is going to be a keep to drop on the center pass later on. As this Archon Chapel, I don't expect him to instantly go into the mining camp, but later on, he is going to get the buffed up rates here. And a lot of value here, right? He's going to buff a lot of his wood line for a while. He's got the stone, and then he's got the food as well. Chose not to go for the gold, understandably so. He could have played an Archon Chapel down here, in fairness. And considering you're playing onto water, it might have been worthwhile over the stone. That's what leads me to think that this still could possibly be an instant mining camp, because otherwise, I don't know if you need to prioritize this, right? If you're going to use this 5 or 10 minutes down the line, worry about that 5 or 10 minutes down the line. In the meantime, get the efficiency on the eco that matters, which is gold and wood, because you want to push galleys. And a nice little sneak. So B is going to get the outpost down. And the torch roof and the scouts is going to be too slow. This is actually really crafty by B. It's really inventive what he's done here. The V for victory followed up by the outpost on the crossing. You know, realistically, I don't think that this would work because, you know, the ground's a little bit unstable, but we won't talk about realism here. It's going to be a wake-up call for Wham either way, though. He's still not teched up, so it's not like he can get the galleys out quick enough. He's not going to be able to breach quick enough. Instead, he's just going to be denied here. That means 2 wallings successful for B. Third one also going up, so no access. B kind of has the dominion here, right? Like, Wham hasn't covered all the passings. He can't easily now. So B could, in theory, go into Horseman and raid him. And also, I don't think you're going to last long in this corner onto the fishing. Like, this is going to be denied very fast. B could arguably just move in with a few archers, maybe snipe you down, or maybe just try to rush through and burn down the dock before it becomes a problem. It looks like, in the meantime, Wham is going to get that initial galley out. I just don't know what you're going to be able to do with it due to the outpost. Especially if you can get the arrow slits upgrade quick enough. And, ooh, he's going for another one. Outpost on the side. B, did he get the range right on this? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure you died to a galley. Folks, he's going to insta-die to a galley. Remember the galley, it does 10 damage, 6 bursts, which means it will insta-kill a villager. But B, Wham didn't know us. What? Wait. But right here. Okay, B's going to get away with murder here. By not getting murdered. As he will actually be able to pull across to the other side here. And he's going to have double outpost. Tech up is delayed for B. Almost complete with it now. Just 25% left to do. Double outpost down means that Wham's not going to be able to get much food off the waterfront anymore. At least able to burst through the walls and will shift up river where B's eco is going to be exposed. Mistakes made there. B didn't want to rush up into the feudal, so he doesn't get the arrow slits upgrade in time. We'll now look to get it into the towers now, but at a delay that will cost him a lot of his fleet. Remember, one galley can insta just blitz these. Remember, with the amount of damage it's doing, 60 damage. It's pure damage because you don't have any missile resistance on the fishing boats. You can garrison them, but it's an awkward micro. It's going to just distract B a lot of the time. And now Horseman moving out. So we said Wham didn't have access. He quickly fixes that. Now, second galley. Oh, my. Oh, my, oh, my. That's going to be a wee little problem here. Also frustrating for B. It's not even like you can do chip damage on the drive-by. Remember the changes to the naval front. I feel like Delhi was one of the subtly most hard-hit civs by this change. Remember that you can't actually fire while moving with your ships now, which means you can't even drive-by as you retreat with these fishing boats. And B is just... Wait, does B know about that change? I'm trying to think if he was playing since that change happened. Yeah, he must know. He must know. It just felt weird with the fishing boats. Like, he wasn't even returning fire. Sometimes it looked like he was trying to start a step back on top of him. He definitely knows. There's no way. Oh, okay. Freebie's giving over. Wham. Not paying attention, distracted by what he's doing with the galleys. Does end up losing the scout and the horseman. And, wow, both scouts, in fact. So, consolidating himself at the crossing. A nice move here, actually, out of B, because now he does have the outpost with the arrow slits upgrade. This is where the damage can start to stack up. So they're down, standing its ground for the moment. Fishing boats are going to retreat to the south side. Dock no longer being used by Wham. I mean, he's got the fishing boats at the back, but you can see now B's going to take this area over. This is a crafty play. Means it's actually going to take away the value from Wham and still be on the waterfront in the next 2 minutes, whereas Wham will only be on land. And it's still only 1 TC. Went to the stables, of course. Means he hasn't got eco scalability. Dock will now go unused. Wait, what? B? Go dog. Get out there. Get out now. Big deal in this is that there's been an investment made by Wham hard into these stable units. It did slow down his tech up timing, so B is halfway on his way to castle. But as we can see, Wham, as is typical with HRE players, will not wait around. He rushes up. And it will be the Radiant's Cathedral, so playing for greed as opposed to outright aggression at the beginning will offer up an opportunity for B to recover. D, of course, going for the extra gold trickle, is playing towards the Sacred Sites. When he's in position, actually, he can also, if he goes to the tech up quick enough, he can snatch one to his relics, because this relic especially is not exactly favorably located for Wham to secure. In the meantime, Galley's moving in, but he hasn't repaired. I feel like you can very slowly lose these galleys. The Dow isn't going to be able to take it down on its own, but with an outpost being plopped there as well, once you garrison this, I think the bonus damage should be good enough. There it is, B. Garrison's in. Horseman trying to burn through the palisade in the meantime. Dow is going to be forced to retreat here. And of course, he can't break through because he needs to get rid of the palisade first, so he's delayed on the spot. And new dot going up, so Wham just trying to dictate the flow and make sure he controls the passes. Doesn't want to risk getting raided by cavalry from the deli later on. B not really showing signs of going towards that yet. A slow scale towards feudal, but no rush up. Or castle rather, but no rush up. Rush through from Wham, so you can start to get eyeballs on. This is really important. This key element of the game for Wham is now about resource gathering, via info rather. So info gathering, words. He needs to see what's happening in B's base. He needs to know what's actually coming next. Is he transferring his aggression to a land force? Is he TC booming up? Am I safe right now? Has he even begun castle? And when he starts to move around like this, he can see relics aren't being gathered. He can see he's not playing on the pocket ecos. He has to be fairly condensed. Either B has played multi-TC in the farms, or he's still only on one TC. Either way, it means that he's staggered on his aggression, and it offers up an opportunity now where Wham can renew an assault on land and deny a lot of value from B. Dow's able to punish for the moment, but Galleys should win out these fights on a 2-on-1. It's kind of deceitful, but you have to remember the Dows, they do 4 bursts of 10 damage compared to the Galley doing 6 bursts of 10 damage, but then look at the range difference. 4 versus 5. I believe that is with the Blacksmith upgrade. Or not. Wait, was it 4 by default? I could have sworn it's 3. I'm probably thinking light chunks. Still, the Galleys, they tend to trade quite well. And you can see he's almost going to pepper one down. Will be in the punchline, but won't be far behind him. Ooh. 1 for 1. It's a good trade in the end for B. Wham, kind of a little bit greedy, choosing not to renew the Galleys. Could be switching up into the Hulks, mind you. And yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. And this is kind of worrisome for B because the Baglers are still pretty bad. They did buff them, so the ballista damage is at 70 now, and they do the 5 bursts of 10 damage. So it's 120 total, but then you have to consider damage mitigation, right? So for example, this Hulk has 5 missile resistance. It means it will take 65 damage from the ballista, and then only 25 damage from the arrow fire Bagler, which puts you at a net negative compared to a Hulk. Hulks do come out first of Wham, so frustrating situation. B might have to start forfeiting the waterfront. The way he could actually consolidate himself here is with a Siege Workshop. If you can pull 1 or 2 Springles, you can sink these Hulks. It means you actually maintain flow and you deny your opponent. That being said, actually just maybe the outpost alone, because Wham is not cycle charging. He can't. He can't target out the outpost, which means this Hulk is just going to be sunk and it's barely going to get any value for it. Snake's being made, so that is going to be a freebie for B. Heavy investment loss there. 300 wood, 240 gold for those Hulks. And I'm not sure really what else Wham is doing in the meantime. He does at least garrison the Radiant's Cathedral with the double relic. But you can see the Hulks aren't really gaining ground. It's the static defenses that got put down. B had a fantastic read on this. And because he beat his opponent to the punchline, it means that now Wham can't get favorable outposts situated on the waterfront. And that's why I expect in the next 2 to 3 minutes, B's going to be the one who's able to raid on land where Wham won't be able to. B's not in a rush. Oh no. He goes for the secondary TC. Delayed in his timing doing it, but will benefit from it a lot. And now the Elephant's also starting to come out. While you do have some vision on this at the back of the base as Wham has 1 horseman in there, I don't think he spotted the Elephants coming out, so he won't be ready for this. Also, look at this. Home Blades being researched just over 2 minutes away is a big booster for him. We'll give him flexibility. You have to remember that when you're up against the HRE, Home Blades is deceitful. It does give an edge over because not only do you have more damage, or comparable damage rather, to the HRE, you still have Forced March, which will allow you to gap close and just exceed expectations. Because although Marching Drills is useful, Forced March, it's so much better. I think like if you had a choice between permanently having that Marching Drill as you do, or have a Forced March, take Forced March every day of the week, because the positioning element, you can just quickly change a fight. So even if you begin to transition now as Wham into Man-at-Arms, you're going to find yourself at a distinct disadvantage. And that's exactly why instead he goes up first with the Pass Swab being built. B, nowhere near ready to tech up himself and doesn't really want to rush to it either. Remember that the Delhi suck as an Imperial Age rushing Civ because of how long it takes to get all your tech ups. Yes, you save 1,000 resource per tech up, but you also tend to wait around so long that your kids are going to be in college by the time you do get your tech ups. That's why he goes to the Elephants now. B, meeting the required timings at this point. And you can see what's happening. He understands the tech up's coming because Wham has completely receded away, right? He's not contesting the waterfront anymore. He's not showing any military force. He has to be teching up. And if you're quick enough about this, you can actually slay him before he even realizes his potential. In fact, I would actually love to see B pull forward and build an archer range at the waterfront just to get these Elephants out faster. I think right now the issue for him is income, though. He probably feels like he can't afford to push additional Elephants than maybe 2 archery ranges worth. Elephant count now up to 3. Will break through the palisades. Needs to rush forward here if he wants to start punishing Wham for this tech up. Sacred Sight cap cannot be denied unless Wham wants to lose the Horseman, which is exactly what's going to happen here. Bagler is just a little bit too powerful, and these scholars did the speed on these. 1.69. That was also intentional, right? The movement speed had to be. Such a dumb thing. You know why they chose that movement speed? Because if y'all think you can kill my scholars, y'all can go do yourself, right? Like 1.69 movement speed. Even a knight can't catch that. Come on. It's so stupid. Dumb-looking Elephants are going to make a fool out of Wham now. Not move in. Sacred Sights have been capped, so B now with a clear win condition even if this assault fails. E repairs to slow down the assault. On cooldown for a long time. B hasn't switched targets just yet, but he's pulling skulls forward to ensure he never gets damaged. And also, he's going to yoink the relics away. Hello. Cheeky boy. I mean, you're quick to do it as well. We said already the 1.69 movement speed is ridiculous. Which allows you to instantly be in position and instantly just run off with the goodies. And essentially handed a freebie because Wham decided to use this forward outpost to bank that relic. Is on fire. It's going to force a fight now. You need to be careful, actually. Like, you might bait yourself in a wall if you're not careful. Scholar. Oh, he's being abandoned. He's gone. But now 4 Elephants at the front. Outpost down. You need to respect the damage that does come out from these Ellies. And more Ellies coming forward, along with the keep. B, perfect on the 800 stone. You know what he wants. He wants a keep drop right down in Wham's base. Wham needs a response soon. Bombards are being built. The natural predator of the Elephant, of course. And this is where B would benefit from a switch up into Man-at-Arms as well. Get the Force March, get the Man-at-Arms. You could easily overwhelm the defenses of Wham. You need to be fast. Elite Knight upgrade does come through. Wham now stacking up to 12 Knights. And Elephants will start to target out the Regnant's Cathedral. Emergency repairs will make this a little bit more frustrating. Bombard starts to target him out. And this is where you need the Scholars to start healing. Because you can't access the Bombard at all. It'll be too quick to disengage. Herbal Medicine enthusiasts are having a good time with this one. Speed will back off for the moment. Alright, dog, calm down. That ain't it. Question mark is what B does next. Oh, you know what he does next. He's bringing the Elephants and the relics. This says it's time for either a clutch win or a generous donation. Let's find out which. This could catch Wham off guard. I think it comes down to how you use the tree line. Like, if you hide on the side, he might not see it coming. And even just forcing him to run away after you trigger the wall roll could be big. Okay, look, no, okay. He's not going to do it. In fairness, it would have been very difficult to achieve up against Knights. But the head patters are on the forefront. 5 scholars here to heal up. The elephant count getting pretty damn healthy, up to 9 now. 2 bombards in the field in the meantime for Wham. And also the hand cannoneers coming out. Need to be careful with that. That can be targeted out by the elephants. There's Elefanto fun time. There's B. He's probably going to go when he's got about 12 elephants. You don't want to wait around too long. You are playing from a tech disadvantage. And as we already highlighted, the Imperial Age isn't exactly desirable for the Delhi. It just takes you too long to realize Imperial Age, right? Yes, you know, you can build it up fast enough, but once you get there, you're waiting around 10 minutes to get the elite upgrades. Not worth the 1,000 resource you save. Still surprised there's been no switch over to Man-at-Arms, though. There's definitely a lot of value in it for B. Might make it a bit trivial for Wham to dispatch him. Like, hand cannoneers and bombards, as you're noticing, guns to kill elephants, guys. Just buy guns. And it is actually the way you do it. Like, the elephants, they don't have much missile resistance, and they are incredibly slow. So especially bombards can just pick them apart. You know, 170 damage doesn't seem like much, but for a unit that has 10 tile range, it's plenty. Wham's elephants, well, sorry, B's elephants rather, seem to be on a wood-only diet. Like your mum. Okay, I'm sorry, that was me. I couldn't resist. Someone in chat is like, what? I was just chilling. On B. Well, he's moving forward with the stone walls. Stone's on this lad. Trying to actually just maintain the victory condition. The sacred site being decapped, though. The sneak out by Wham. Quick enough. And that's important, because that was the chill mode B was looking for. Now B might be forced to go. He even diverted the elephants down to the south side to try and keep that alive. And that means more breathing room. So Wham is going to get time to build even more hand cannoneers, and they will start to shred these Ellie boys. I don't even know if it was worth pulling to the south side here. And I mean, mistakes made in my eyes. I feel like you just gave Wham a lot more time. He can just peel back. Yes, you'll reclaim the sacred site, but now he's got at least 10 more minutes. And in those 10 minutes, he's going to be in the boom up, right? Like right now, B does have the military advantage, but it's the tech up advantage. Wham might get enough time to pop cap himself, at which stage he should win this fight quite convincingly. Especially considering that you have this many scholars. Scholars that, by the way, can insta be sniped out by bombards. Just want to highlight that, folks. So if you think that this is going to be unassailable, you're dead wrong. Oh, Wham will be forced off the goal, but still has plenty incoming. 15 tower elephants now, folks. Oh. Watch how quickly this gets healed. Medicare, 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 woo! Uh-oh, uh-oh, get out, get out. You run faster than knights, just run, run! Fly, you fools! Oh no, he's not paying attention, B! Okay, head pass, do your work, do your business. Oh wait, the bombards are here. Okay, cancel that plan, run, run, run! The plan is baked. The goose is cooked. This is so stupid, this is so stupid. Dog, these guys, I mean, these guys use their gym membership. That's all I'm going to say. When you run faster than a damn horse, all right, you know you got it. You don't run faster than cannonballs, though. That's for sure. All right, elephants are coming back. I feel like B's hesitation might have actually just cost him this game. Oh, I say that. Oh. The buzzard's in. The B-boy round the back. If he pinches on both sides, Wham's going to be forced to respond one way or the other. And he's going to forfeit some ground as a result. Look at the rush in. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Where are you boys going? A little bit too fast there. Ellie's moving forward. No boiling oil. And now, no, he left the bombards here. Could try to run them away. Scholars chasing. What are these scholars doing right now? Dude, please. Please, B. Please. There we go. Medicare given over. He just wants to ram them. The damage, one hit. These elephants do so much work. However, the Bombards are only able to get through one of them now. He's going to be forced to retreat. The Skulls trying to stand their ground. He can't actually retreat away from this. He has to fight. Horsemen getting their bonus damage up. The Bombards on the side trying to snipe him down. The Hand Cannoneers now able to focus fire down these Elephants one by one. The heals maybe not good enough to keep them alive. No, they can't do it. 16 Scholars, not going to be enough. Elephants about to go below 10 here. Hand Cannoneers still ignored. We'll start to focus fire them now. But look at the damage being done. It's not going to be good enough. The Bombards and Hand Cannoneers should be able to shred you down to about 4 or 5 Elephants maximum. He needs to be focus firing on the Skulls though, and it's up to 22. No, B! He's actually turning it around. The less Elephants, the more focused heals can come out. Mistakes were made. Wham did not target out the Skulls that he could easily one hit down with these Bombards. And it means the Skulls are reigning supreme. B still with 7 Elephants running him through here. Wham is going to forfeit more ground, trying to keep the Bombards alive, pulls the villagers across here just to keep it up. But that means he can be targeted down there instead. Still no textiles. Elephant staying alive at 6 with 22 Scholars. What is this strategy out of B? He's keeping the dream alive. Down to 5 Elephants as one peeled away from the Medicare. But don't worry, the rest do have private healthcare. They're getting the best of services here. Bombards being targeted, trying to keep them alive, isn't repairing them fast enough. Elephants not even actually ramming them right now, so missed opportunity to take out the Bombards. And this strategy from B, if the Scholars go down, it falls apart. And he's noticed it as well. The Bombards are starting to target the Scholars down one by one with his Sisters of the Keep. I think B's cheesy strategy is about to come to an end here. As the Bombards pull away, more Scholars coming in. Oh my God, the Chad healers. Who would willingly run under keep fire, under everything just to get there? Only B's boys. But B's boys look like they've come to a close. I mean, he's refusing to GG it out, but he's really doing nothing, folks. This is just pointless now. B, it was a cute idea. Maybe if you could insta-focus fire down the Bombards, but the delayed response on clicking on top of them allowed too much value to Wham. The Scholar count now down to about 12. It feels like you're just shriveling up. Elephant not able to get through the Bombards fast enough here. We'll just chase deeper, looking for another Elephant going down. And B, I mean, maybe this is a good idea if you recap the Sacred Site, but maybe... okay, I'm not even going to allow this to slide by. Why have you not sent a single Scholar down here in the last, what, 3 minutes to recap this Sacred Site? You could have won the game off this, maybe. Then this play makes sense. But as it stands right now, what are you delaying Wham for? What are you doing with this? I mean, maybe if Wham can't gather, I can see a way. But so many Scholars have been sacrificed at B. If you can get back up to 20 Scholars, maybe. Dare we dream? Dare we dream? I think Wham has mismicroed this a bit. I think he missed an opportunity to blitz the Scholars before they could reinforce, and now as a result, he's going to lose the last Bombard. Oh, the Elephants targeted out. Hand Cannoneers are being ignored. Ellie boys being taken down one by one. The Hand Cannoneers coming out from Wham, but Wham limited on the resources he has. Look at his income right now. He's suffering. It's the eco count B. He can afford this infinitesimally. He actually is going to do it. Screw the Sacred Sites. Delhi win like that all the time. Who cares? The head patters are doing it. I can't believe this is working. I can't believe this is working. B is maintaining himself at 5 Elephants. He's draining the eco of Wham. Yes, he's not slaying the base outright, but how is Wham ever gaining ground? You know what the stupidest part is, folks? While this distraction happens in your base, look what's happening on the south side. B is taking everything. This is what B loves to do. This is why B loves that late game, because if he can get there, if he can extract more resources than his opponent, he's got a smile on his face. And you can see that Wham is running out. Wham, at least for the moment, will stabilize, but why no sake? I can't. B is just like, bro, winning with Sacred Sites is too easy. That's lame. Like, I'm not crazy, right? You take the Sacred Site, you could be winning this game right now. Because then Wham has to play out to the midfield. He hasn't got the static defenses. He hasn't got the reinforcement of new troops being produced. He gets caught off and gutted. But instead, now, Wham gets to live again. I don't think this was by intentional design. I'm starting to feel like B forgot to recap the Sacred Site. I think he tunnel visioned on how powerful this could be. And then thought maybe it would just outright win. And as a result, has like missed the clear win condition. Yeah, a very weird play. Very, very weird play. I mean, in fairness, I'll give this to B at least. Win or lose this now, he lived up to what we were hyping him for. He always delivers entertaining games, and he's definitely done it here with this ridiculous head patter LE boy strategy. But he needs to resupply those scholars, as he did lose quite a lot of them. Still has plenty of gold in reserve. Food is the lacquer for both sides here. He's starting to crawl in on the eastern side as well. If he actually builds a siege workshop here, gets 1 or 2 trebs, he could do a lot of damage. It's a little bit frustrating against the HRE due to emergency repairs, but you can switch targets. Scholars up to 19. B is now pop capped again. It's going to be 10 elephants, 20 scholars. Is this good enough? I'm not sure it is. You're dealing with double keep, a small group of hand cannoneers, and a lot of horsemen now. Not to mention the bombards. I want to believe, but I don't believe I can. Right? Could he do it? If he does it, it's because he's killing buildings, right? Like, but he wasn't killing buildings last time. That's the problem. And he's not got the Sacred Site. Like, so once again, like, I don't understand why he doesn't have the Sacred... You have walls up. You hold this choke point. Take the damn Sacred Site! Oh, no. This is hurting. Now, well, Anakin, he has the high ground, so these bombards can snipe you out 1 by 1 skulls if you're not careful. It just kind of feels like B is flexing on the power of scholars, and he doesn't care to whether he wins or loses it the way he's playing. It's kind of ridiculous. Elephants on the move, making their horrifying screeching noises. Bombards, Jesus. A patrol turret right now. Wham. He is a little bit exposed back here, actually. He could get picked, in fairness. So this could go badly for him. Like, he isn't actually building up eco reserves. And look what B has done. He's sneaking Imperial Age. He actually managed to gather enough because he's been pop capped for so long. Meanwhile, look at the other side. Wham's nowhere near ready. Eco and military still lagging behind. But Mangonel's now in the mixer. Forced off the farmlands. That's going to slow down the accruement of resources that he vitally needs. Like, look at his food. It's critical that he sorts this soon. And that's why he's built more farms back at base, but I'm a bit worried, folks. The snitches will reveal the villagers at the back gathering wood. There's none of that. Get out of here, peasants. You don't have a permit to gather wood in my forest. They're like, fine, we'll find our own forest. Dude, this is classic B. Like I said, instead of trying to end the game now, he's just trying to drain the entire map of resources. You know what you see Beastie do a lot? This is exactly what B loves to do. We don't get to see it often out of B because he usually plays very kind of like, some people say cheesy or fast, kind of aggressive strategies. But this is where B thrives. I remember BC telling me, like, as a StarCraft player, that's what B loved to do. He wanted to drag a hyper late game and then just extract resources so he had, like, surplus when you ran out. That's exactly what B's doing here. He stripped a huge chunk of Wham's resources on the east side. He's now denying him on the west side and moving in with villagers here. He's taking wood right out from under his very nose and beating him to the punchline on the keep construct, which he has access to due to the cut down trees. It means he just wants to starve Wham out. And Wham will be starved out. He has no wood left. It's just this tree line that he can access and that's it. Then it's straggler trees. And this is quite the precarious situation for the HRE boy. B will just patrol again. Gets the first keep down, moves in for the secondary. Of course, he can also use these to build villages, which is why he has so much disposable eco force, up 128 eco units. And you can see how methodical it is from B. He loves this map as well, by the way. I've seen him play a lot Mongolian Heights willingly. And And he loves to do it with unorthodox strategies, like he'll play the English and do Imperial Age Rush instead. Like, he very much thrives on these choke point maps where he can actually exploit it to drag the game. And Wham, like, honestly, you're at a stage where you start Ouroborosing, you start eating yourself. It's going to force Wham to come out. And Wham, he just doesn't have the count. Like, he has one big military force. He loses it, he's done. And the keeps are a problem. Bombard's moving out. Trying to punish him while the elephants are out of position is an interesting move. We'll see if it works out. B, just still extracting all the resources, taking it all away. Is getting the cannon upgrades as well. The Bombards need direct line of sight. Need to be careful because the villagers could actually pull and just burn him down straight away. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he does that right now. B, he's being targeted on the keep. Has chosen to ignore the Bombards, though. However, the elephant's coming out is going to force a retreat. Remember that Wham is wood-capped right now. If he loses these Bombards, he loses the game. He's relying on a composite of horsemen and what little siege he can mass to deal with these elephants. Nice snipe out the scholars, but I don't think he cares too much. He has plenty of scholars in reserve still. In fact, where are the scholars right now? There's 5 of it. There we go. A little congregation. It's a religious meeting right now. They're trying to decide who's going to be their next head figure of the religious state. They decided it is going to be Lord Elephant. Understandably so. Starting to feel like B is a Ganesh worshipper. Definitely seems to love his elephant gods. This is just, it's just been that. Religion and elephants. Coming together to formulate a strategy for B that is actually working out. Mangonels, not as impressive they used to be, especially when they can't even hit the damn target. This is so stupid out of B. Like, folks, I just want to highlight this for what it is. Wham is considered a top 8 player right now. He is in the Golden League playoffs. And B, after 2 weeks away, is screwing with him. He's just slowly teasing him. But now the commitment comes out. Wham rushes out with the elephants, trying to overwhelm the elephants. Gets on top of them, turns around for the max damage coming out. The bonus damage, in fact, remember, Elite Horseman doing 28 damage per stab is going to quickly dispatch the Horseman. And B, he might get punished. Oh, the elephants, rather. He might get punished here for playing with his food. Bombard starting to target out the keeps as well. Elephants quickly just being rinsed by the Horsemen. And the scholars are still on a holiday break at this point, as I don't even know where the hell they are anymore. He killed them. I think he killed them. He must have. They're just not here anymore. They done nothing. They can't do anything. The Horsemen overwhelmed him. Mistakes have been made. B, what are you doing? Oh, this is appropriate punishment, right? This is karma. We said Wham was a top 8 player, and you did not give him the due respect he is deserved at this point. And as a result, you now are in trouble. You have plenty of surplus resources in reserve, but you need to switch up fast. He's going to the Spearman. Horseman still being pushed. Wham could get caught off guard by this transition. B, feeling like it's time to actually take this game seriously. You can't just cheese your way through with elephants anymore. I say that. He pushes more elephants. But he is at least backing up with spears now. No scholars, no cheeky play like that. Wham. When he moves out, isn't going to have much to actually exploit is the problem. So Wham needs to be very calculated about the fights he takes. He can't really sacrifice that much. He hasn't got big surplus in reserve. Doesn't really have much in the way of resources he can actually extract anymore. Practically no trees remaining on his side, as of course B did prioritize those first. Trying to make the European civilizations aware that deforestation is a global issue. Spearman being thrown away by B. I'm a little bit worried about how he's spending his resources because we are heavy into the elephants again, but at least this time it's with a bunch of spears. This could be big. And B has gone back for the sacred sites now, so he's renewed a win condition. However, Wham now has breathing room 9 minutes and also has the midfield to play around. And your walls are falling fast, the Bombards. along with any follow-up defenses. In fact, Wham could start targeting out the elephants. They have got the bonus health via the biology, so he did use the university tech. And they are remarkably tanky, 1,152 HP per elephant now. You can see they look fabulous. Layered in their gold. Has got the crossbow units on top now instead of the archers, so a lot of damage coming out from each individual elephant. And just a small group of spearmen can be problematic. The issue with what's happened here now for Wham is last time he won the fight because he ran past the elephants and boxed them in and stabbed them down. If he does that this time, the spearmen are going to get huge value. They'll brace, they'll stab into you, they'll shift down a lot. And oh, wait a second. Okay, so the scholars were alive somewhere else. They were on a coffee break. They were in the madrasas, so they were actually just getting the tech quicker. And this time he has the heals, he has the elephants, and he has the spears. So everything that Wham has is counted and discounted at the stage. B just running scholars forward, trying to educate. 130 health, respectable amount for a frontline unit. Starts to move in with the Ellies. Spears to back him up as well. Needs to get rid of the keep defenses. Wham. He found a little bit of breathing room, but far from out of the woods just yet. Needs to put his forces to good use. His eco hasn't recovered. His military force is comparative, but that's about it. And B still sitting on big reserves here. These bombards, you need about 10 of them. You need 10 to kill a tower elephant straight away. Actually, that might not be enough. Actually, no, one mind about that would be. That'd be 1,700 damage. So you need like at least 8, I'd say, to feel comfortable about this. And now the keep being constructed up. There's too many things for him to deal with. Wham! He rushes in, but the spears are here this time. The counterattack. The scholars as well is going to delay this. It's not going to be as good as it was last time for Wham. Keep constructed up. Villagers rushing forward for a second keep. They can find the room. Instead, they're going to get the shifts out and look to fight. B standing his ground with 14 tower elephants on the front. More to follow through. The resource battle is going to be won. B just has too much in reserve. Wham cannot keep up. Mangonels trying to even up the fight, but still 13 elephants remaining. Scholars trying to keep them alive as the front line is dead. In the eternal battle between elephants and horses, elephants will reign supreme, and they will even rebel against the natural order of things as they will look to take on the gun. And he will just gun him straight down with his own crossbows, forcing him back. Wham, giving over ground. Army's going to be wiped on both sides, but B with the 4 defenses now in the base of his opponent here. Bombards will not protect you anymore. Too many villagers pushing in. Each one of these keeps able to produce new villagers. B is cheesing his way through here. He can torch down the bombards if he chooses. Goes for the repairs instead. Mistakes being made. B, take out the bombards. Torch them down. He thinks that there is a boiling oil nest inside here. If only he knew what we knew. Scholars are going to back away. Elephants will peel back for the moment, but now look at the damage done. Eco more or less neck and neck, but military force double the count. Ground still not being gained, and remember, it's all covering the sacred site victory condition for B as he still maintains control over both of those. Also, the relic situation, like how many did he get in the end? I think it must have been 3. I can't be asked. There's too many scholars. There's too many builds to look at. Overall, he's doing pretty well, is the TLDR on this one. However, Wham keeps the dream alive. A mistake made again by B. I don't know why he's not doing this, but the villagers, if the villagers just torch down the bombards. Okay, here we go. That's what you need. The horseman switch up's good. Rushes in, needs to get rid of the bombards. If the bombards are gone, then Wham's in trouble. He hasn't got reserves to replace them. 1 down, 3 to go. Second one to fall. Elephants moving in. They're just going to mop up the remaining hand cannoneers. Straight in on top of the bombards. 1 left to kill. The whole army is just going to be blitzed. And Wham, although he has the static defenses, he has no way of breaching and breaking out anymore. Treb's at least trying to give him some wiggle room, but I don't know about this one, dog. Wham refuses to give up, but you have to wonder what he's holding on for at this point. What can he still do? And B, with such a weird strat. I mean, honestly, it feels like he could have won this game at 2 points already if he had the sacred site control. But he at least still has that win condition in mind in the next few minutes. I think we're like, what, 6, 7 minutes out? Not too long to go now for him. Especially considering that Wham doesn't have the resources to replace these quality units that he lost. My, oh my. And the horsemen just keep on coming. B, he's played this to perfection. Maybe not in terms of win condition, but in terms of the way that he built his army. Elephants and Scholars able to afford that. Then when you start to drain on the gold, he switches over to the Horsemen, and the Horsemen counter out everything that Wham has invested in. And Wham, the investment was heavy. Hand Cannoneers are not cheap. Bombards are not cheap. And all of it is feeling counted right now by these Horsemen. Horsemen that, by the way, these aren't even elite yet. They're veteran. If they get to elite, this isn't even going to be close. Especially with the biology already bulking them up to 186 health. Not easy for you to quickly just break through them. Okay, maybe I should be fairer. B has played this to B perfection. The weird, wacky, and unorthodox strategies that we kind of come to expect out of him. And damn, has it worked. Not sure how many players this would work against in the grand scheme of things, but it's working here so far. In fact, B, how far off are we on the elite? Ooh, he's got 3 minutes and 30 left. So he should end up with that before Sacred Sight can win him the game. Wait. Oh, no, it's 5 minutes. Okay, no. So I don't actually think he's going to get the elite Horseman upgrade before he potentially wins this game. If he can win this game. But hey, oh, there we go. B, he's building up the walls. He's also, is he getting rid of the trade? A little bit. A tiny bit. He's got 8. So he's starting to gather infinitesimally, something that Wham cannot brag about. Doesn't have the same level of access to the trade post, as it's always being harassed if he tried to do it. B will force him behind his walls. Wham just coming out, getting a little bit of wood and hoping it's good enough. Sometimes a lot of wood can go a long way, but not in this situation. I don't actually know how Wham does this anymore. I mean, he won't GG out. He's not that type of player, but like it's very hard to see a way back in anymore. With the double wall layers, triple wall layers, in fact, the keep defense is in place. The potential to rush you with Horsemen, and only Hand Cannoneers to defend you. Like, it feels like you've been beaten to the punch. Like, you don't have the wood to even really afford both Horsemen and Spears in vast quantities. That's why he's pushing the Hand Cannoneers, is because he has infinite gold, right? With a double relic drop plus food infinitely from the farms. That's the only thing he can afford. B has a lot more that he can afford with over 8,000 wood still in reserve. Horseman riding around the back, going the long way around. I'm going to ignore the Hand Cannoneers. He knows if he gets through the Trebs, there's no actual way that Wham can rush out and even reach the Sacred Site in time. He's definitely going the long way around. I mean, so much of this just feels like B flexing. It really does. From the Elephants and the Skull plays to what he's doing with the Horseman now. Like, he's doing a victory lap of Wham's base right now. Like, all right, we're finally in position. Let's just get rid of this. Don't want you thinking that you could maybe come back into this game. And the villager pool is just not good enough. Oh, man. B is just, he's just styling on him. Oh, my giddy on. B. I've missed you, son. Over 2 weeks without you, and you come in and instantly don't disappoint with such an unorthodox route to victory. I mean, how many people do a victory lap of their opponent's base before getting the dub? Because it looks like he should be able to get it. I mean, Mangonels are just not going to get you through these walls quick enough. The outpost defenses as well. B seems to have had his fun with this game, and I think he's now done. He's going to force the fight. Wham has to rush out. A lot of Hand Cannoneers here. Just don't know if it's going to be good enough. Horseman trying to wrap around to get on top of him. Target them down one by one isn't going to be good. Mangonels insta-torched. Elephants stand their ground, and the Scholars are just too problematic. No damage can be done quick enough here. Wham at risk of losing this highly expensive army. And I don't think he can afford to replace anything after this. It's just going to be a wipe. In fact, B will have troops left at the end of it. I think he's finally done it. He has beaten him to a pulp. He's already dead. Stop hitting him, please. Wham cannot come back. Some part of me wished he would, just to punish B for this ridiculous strategy. But in true B fashion, the unorthodox will reign supreme as he will take the dub up against a top 8 player at AoE.